What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Hopefully, y'all were able to hear that. Hopefully, I did it the right way today, right? We started the intro off the right way, right? So shout out to all of you. Yes, Mr. Z is late. So Z, you trying to tell me one of your New Year's resolution wasn't being on time for these damn streams? Apparently not, everyone. Apparently not. Or if that was a New Year's resolution, I started off the wrong foot already. Second stream late, right? And I'm sorry about that, y'all. So that's a new sound effects for those of you who haven't heard it already. We have another new sound clip, sound drop. What is it, Z? So you know when you're done doing your business and then you pull off away from her house like this way, and that's for all my muscle car guys, right? That's for all my muscle car guys. Trail said CPT 25, right? Oh man, I can't remember what year it was, and my younger sister said, baby sister Z said, I'm snitching all, was it 2022 or 2021 or something? And she was like, I'm snitching all 2021. Everything everybody do, I'm snitching. And I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And the whole year, she wasn't really a snitch, but it was funny when she would say, like, I'm snitching. Remember, I'm snitching all of 2021. That is hysterical, right? Man. Um, but yeah, so hopefully you guys were able to check out the clips. I just found another something I wanted to cover low key, and I was like, damn, I didn't give them enough time, and this is a long stream, so yeah. Anyway, um, but shout out to the young lady, um, from what Ed calls the female. Excuse me, damn Z, not the cough. I know. Um, that Z calls, I said Z, that Ed calls the female accountability department. So shout out to Edward Anderson for that. That is hysterical. And yes, the young lady is part of the female accountability department. Um, the young lady, she was on the daily wrap up crew with the sisters that were talking crazy about black men and yeah. So um, if y'all check out the first link, you'll see the young lady put a clip up, and her channel name is, by the way, so let's shout her out, just a girl talk, and you'll see her put up a clip of a Latino speaking about going to, I guess, a get together or an event, and there were a bunch of Latinas and some black women there, a handful of black women, and one of the Latinas had a black boyfriend, I guess, and um, the Latina made him a plate, and the black girls were, doing the whole, why are you making him a plate? He has his own hands. He has his own hands and feet. Why are you making him a plate? And the Latino man went on to say, what's wrong with catering to your man? Why, this is what we do in our culture. What's the problem here? I want to emphasize this. I've been around black women from across the diaspora that, especially when we go to an event, will make their man a plate, right? So it does happen. With that said, oh boy, I want black women to appreciate that you are your own worst enemy in the PR department, right? You are your own worst enemy in the PR department. I'm not saying whether this Latino guy is a looker or not, but black women, other men from other communities are observing you, right? You are your own worst enemy. You're not even performing in public in front of these non-black men. These are the guys that you swear that you can pull, and that that appreciate you so much more than black men do. What's the likeliness that a black man told him to make this video? This man made this video of his own accord, of his own free will, of his own volition. And look at what he said. And this is a non-black man. Huh? I want to emphasize this. A Latino man who is at a get-together with Latinas and a handful of black women. A Latina who had a black boyfriend, apparently. Notice, he didn't have anything disparaging to say about a Latina with a black boyfriend. That's not what he really cared about. That's not what his video was about. His video was about how the black women looked and treated a black man that they were not even in a relationship with. Oh boy. Huh? Wow. Black women. I want you to appreciate, and I said this before, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. When Kobe Bryant passed away in that horrific helicopter accident, more than likely holding on to his daughter, the way y'all showed y'all ass online, non-black people saw it. I was reading the comments from white folks who were reading the comments from black women, saying that yitch Vanessa is gonna get his money now, right? That's what he get. He wasn't married to a black woman. I'm reading the comments from white folks who are reading the comments from black women. Huh? Black women. The white men are making videos online telling you to stop worshiping them. They're telling you they're just normal people. The white guys, the white comedians are making videos talking about how black women speak down on black men and venerate them. And their black homeboys are like, you know what you got to do now, right? You got to hit now. You got to smash now. Talk about hitting buttons. Shout out to Destro. Hit Z like button. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Huh? That's white male comedians. You trying to tell me a black man told him to do that? Huh? Dear black women, you showing your ass in front of these non-black men, and I know what you think. You think, hey, and you feel, we're not gonna treat them like that. It's black men. They have to understand. Black men put us through what did May say? Cruel tutelage. Black men put us through so much. That's why we treat them that way. They're not loyal to us. You see, you don't really appreciate actual patriarchy, actual male dominated society. These men don't care none about what you're talking about. Oops. Ain't no one-to-one get back with these non-black men. Uh-oh. You supposed to take it. Ooh, god damn, see. Ouch. Huh? This Latino man came out of nowhere and posted this video. Well, damn. Huh? Wow. And St. Cyr says, the North remembers the hysterical. I don't get why black women think saying stay out of black people's business will protect them from criticism from other races. We're all sharing the same space on the internet. I don't think they really appreciate that. When look at the way Cynthia G responded to the white woman who got her deep platform. And to paraphrase what Cynthia G was saying, if we're going to get right to it, you don't tell me how to control my Negroes. And Negroes ain't the word Mr. Z want to use. Mr. Z want to use the N-word with the hard ER. You don't tell me how to control my Negroes. You don't tell me how to regulate my Negroes. Stay your white woman ass over there. That's essentially what Cynthia G was on. You don't tell me how to discipline my Negroes. Real slave owner-ish that Cynthia G was on. But what do you expect? See, when non-black people get wind of this conversation between black men and black women, and definitely how black women are talking online, the white male worship, y'all saw, let me be very clear, and I'm gonna cover it again this year. Y'all already know Mr. Z covers this at least once, maybe twice a year, the dating divide. So we'll get to it sometime this year. Did y'all see the look on Dr. Jennifer Lundquist's face? That is a whitey McWhite white woman. When she spoke about how women of color put white men on a pedestal. So once again, this is not exclusive to black women. The look on her face was sheer disappointment. And the look on Dr. Chantel Buck's face was sheer like dumbfounded. Like she was dumbfounded. It's white men with beards. It's something about white men with beards and these women and or these people with white men and beards. Dear women in general, dear black women specifically. So let's say that again. Dear women in general, women of color specifically, black women even more specifically, these researchers who are not black men, everyday people who are not black men, are seeing how y'all move. They're studying you, they're observing you. You could say what you want, kidology, about why the white man, the actual researchers don't believe you. Goddamn. Huh? We, for all of us that followed that Twitter thread where the sister that called, she was with a white man, right? Heavy set sister, but you know, because of the black community, I guess we would call her quote unquote medium build. Short haircut, average looking white guy, you know, not a fugly white guy. Um, but she had a white guy as a boyfriend, and she's over here calling white folks saying that they smell like dogs and blah blah blah. She got a whole white boyfriend, by the way. And when white folks got a wind of that, they were flaming her in the comments. And you want to know, excuse me, you want to know what was one of the most common comments? Of course. Uh-oh. Wait, Z, what are you saying? One of the most common comments from white folks about a black woman that's in a relationship with a white man who is calling white people saying they smell like wet dogs and doing her whole pro-black thing while she has a white man. These white folks were saying, of course, a black woman with a white man is railing against white people, namely white men. Dear black women, these white folks see you. They're laughing at you. In the comments were a bunch of jokes about, ooh, but she might be free, but she like being oppressed in the bedroom. All of those type of comments. Huh? She like that white male oppression in the bedroom. Huh? All that white male patriarchy in the bedroom. I'm not joking. We know, Mister, for all of you that saw the same Twitter thread, this was sometime like early last year. Huh? I want to emphasize that, dear black women, non-black people see you. Those white people were flaming that young lady. She had to come out with a second video trying to explain the same thing those weirdo lefty black women who worship white men always say. Well, you can't help who you love, and he's different, and he understands racism, and he understands systems of oppression, and he understands that. Hey, nobody believe you, bro. Cool story, bro. Huh? Everybody understands what's going on. Women, namely feminist women, want their cake and eat it too. In other words, I want to rail against patriarchy. I want to rail against white men. I want to rail against systems of oppression while I live under, oh, there's a pun in there, right? While I live with and under the symbol of power on planet Earth currently, white men. While I live under and with a white man, while I'm in a relationship with a white man. Uh-oh. Huh? Everybody has your number, dear women of color. You definitely, you feminist. Well, no, he's progressive and he's liberal and he thinks about this different. And you know, well, I'm gonna have to explain female oppression to black men. So why would I be with a white man? I mean, it's no difference. It's men are men. Whatever you got to tell yourself to go to sleep at night. Nobody believes you. The researchers don't believe you. The sociologists don't believe you. Average white folks don't believe you. Nobody believes you. Dear women of color, dear black women, we know what it is. Everybody knows that feminists and women in general have reached a market cap for their quote unquote equality, and they're actually looking for paymaster men. Right? Tying that to the subject matter. Dear black women, everyone knows that you're talking crap about black men. Everyone sees you. I said it before. Let me say it again. Let's start 2025 off right. For the next couple of weeks, we're just going to keep on reiterating stuff that Z has been saying for the past few years because it never gets old because it's not resolved yet. Dear America, we all know everybody's pretending. As Mr. Z has said, when it comes to race, when it comes to the social, economic, political hierarchy, the racial hierarchy, everyone in America who's been here for more than 5 minutes gets it. Everyone's pretending like they don't. Saint Cyr, that's a really good song. And Saint Cyr says, Alexa, play Everybody Knows by Nerd, right? Shout out to Pharrell. Huh? The original and the remix, both of them are dope. Shout out to Currency. Currency did a really dope remix to it also. Funny, Mr. Z is saying dope and knows, and yeah. Anyway, right? Right. Everyone knows. As a matter of fact, Saint Sir, I'm gonna put all three in the description box after the stream. The original, the remix, and the one with Currency. Right? We all understand the hierarchy. Everyone's pretending like they don't. A black man at a get together with a Latina and black women are showing their ass to the point where a Latino man is compelled to make a video about it and ask why are black women this way. Dear black women, Kevin Samuels told you about your ethnic image. Kevin Samuels told you about your ethnic image, right? And y'all gives you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And we're back, right? So I also want to say to Just Girl Talk, let's make sure, yeah, just a girl talk. Let's emphasize this because I appreciate her work. I've seen a few of her videos online on YouTube mainly. I know she's mainly on TikTok if I'm not mistaken, but I've seen some of her videos on YouTube. Shout out to her. Shout out to Ed for the title. It's true. Female accountable. What do you say? The female accountability department. Yes, that's true. That's what I think she occupies. You're right. Um, but I want to maybe give her a different way of viewing this. So shout out to the young lady once again. I would argue that for many of these black women who act the way they do, it's not because they quote unquote chose wrong. It's not necessarily because they got their heart broken from a black man. Even if I was to grant certain boomer and maybe even older extra women that, which I don't, by the way, that is not the story for millennial and Gen Z black women. Millennial and Gen Z black women are just trying to troll black men. They're purposely being antagonistic, mean, rude, snarky, and quite frankly, just straight up racist, misandrous towards black men. Millennial and Gen Z black women who talk like what you saw, ma'am, or who have a problem with black men specifically, who are very mean to black men specifically, as Olay said about the divestors, who are very sexist towards black men specifically. Those women, we might as well, black women, excuse me, we might as well call them what they are. They are racist, anti-black misandrous. It's not about a heartbreak. It's not about a previous experience. The way that divestors are speaking online, the way that swirlers are speaking online, luxury women are speaking online, the way that all of these black women are speaking about black men, it's very neo-Nazi-ish. It's not about heartbreak. It's not about experience that traumatized them so greatly. No, these women, as Ed said, shout out to Edward Anderson, these women hate that they're black. And they're angry at black men for not making them politically and socially upper middle class and above white women. They're trolling black men because if you let them talk long enough, they'll tell you they're angry that black men aren't rich white men. They're angry that they're stuck on planet Earth, stuck in the West, stuck in America with white women, and they can't outshine white women because white men ain't choosing up on them enough. Latino men ain't choosing up on them enough. Asian men ain't choosing up on them practically at all. South Asian men and Arab and Middle Eastern men got them as sneaky links. They're angry at black men about it, so they troll black men about it. They're racist, ma'am. It's not about who broke their heart. It's about them not being able to be the hyper consumers and materialistic a-holes that they wish they were. Huh? We need to emphasize this. I think the young lady is doing great work. I think her heart is in the right place, but the framing is wrong. This is not about black women getting their heart broken. Not from black men anyway. If we were to grant them that they're getting their heart broken by white men and the dominant society not making them white women politically, socially, yes, economically, but definitely politically and socially. And when I say white women, read actually upper middle class and above white women because that's where the power is. That's where the influence is. That's where the lifestyle is. As human beings, we are social creatures. As human beings, we are social creatures. We are status obsessed. And out of the sexes, women more so. And so all of this is about black women's positionality on planet Earth, in the West, and in America specifically. And so these women are trolling black men. They're angry at black men. They understand that black men are more desirable than black women because of the way white supremacy works. And because if I'm going to say, goddamn Z, don't say it, because more white men would rather pipe black men or get piped on by black men than they would rather pipe black women. And I said it. And no, dear black men, that's not something to celebrate. Huh? Black women, if we're going to be honest, are jealous of black men. And I said it. They're jealous that our deaths, black men's unalived bodies are more viewed than them. Black women are incensed that darker skinned black men are more desirable than darker skinned black women, quite frankly, than all black women. Goddamn Z. And as much as black men may value black women's anger and resentment and rage that non black people don't is why black women are mad at black men. They're jealous. And so when they're at an event and a black man is with a Latina woman who's preparing his meal, they're cock blocking. That's what that is. They're hating. That's what that is. Huh? If a few black women are there, where's the Latino? Notice what the Latino did. The guy didn't say. He didn't say anything about those black women being there, right? With non-black men, he didn't say none about those black women being there. And one of them had a Latino boyfriend. He said none about that. He said the black man was there with a Latina. That's what he said. And as much as black men may value black women and find black women attractive and find black women that aren't complete a-holes appealing, that's not black women's issue. Black women are too cowardly to admit what their issue is. Their issue is that non-black folks ain't choosing up on them enough. It's ain't I a woman? We are still dealing with the ghost of ain't I a woman? Ain't I a woman enough for you, white man? Ain't I a woman enough for you, white woman? Ain't I enough of a woman for you, non-black, non-white people? Dear black women, take that up with those people. Stop hating on black men. Stop being jealous. Dear black men, don't ever expect black women to admit this. Ever, 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 ever. Huh? I'm going to cover that either later on today or tomorrow. I'm going to try to bring on the stream where we're going to cover East African sister just straight up damn near growling with her disdain for black men. Huh? We have to emphasize this. We are very status conscious species, human beings, right? We are social creatures. And black women are livid that they live on a planet with white women. They live on a planet in a region, in a country with white women. Huh? And their rage and anger is that they're not being shows up on enough. They're going to the schools, they're in the spaces with white men and Latino men and small hat white men. They're in the spaces with East and South Asian men. Where let me ask y'all something. There are a number of African sisters, all in Yale, all in Harvard, all in Princeton, all in Cornell, all in all of these Stanford, the Ivies and the near Ivies, all in Brown, all in Colgate, all over these Ivy Leagues, near Ivy Leagues, all in George Washington, all in these schools. There are black women, um, um, immigrant black women, child to immigrant black women, AOS black women, all in these spaces. To be frank with you, more than black men are. Where are all the wedding rings from white men and the Latino men, and definitely the East and South Asian men in these spaces, the small hat white men in these spaces? Right? I saw what Detro put saying, Sarah. I ain't gonna read it out loud. That's funny, right? And y'all gives you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. We're back. Right? Regular streams, y'all already know regular streams rules are in effect. But I want to stress this. Black men are in these spaces. Their anger is that these non-black men ain't choosing up on them for marriage. Not to have some fun with, not to knock off a bucket list, not to use as an excuse in the future when somebody calls them racist or anti-black, so they can be like, well, I had a black girlfriend when I was at Harvard. I've dated black women. And yes, Mr. Z saw the clip with the average looking white dude who said once he switched to black women, he knocked off black women. He said 2 in a week. 2 college sisters in a week. Dear black women, your ethnic image Huh? Huh? So I would argue to the sister, the reason why you had those black women speak the way they did and that Latino man recorded, it had to be that egregious. For that Latino man to record, to do one of them car recordings and record himself speaking about this, it had to be that egregious. Huh? It had to be that egregious, right? Dear black women, you showing your ass too much when it comes to black men. Your anger, your rage, your ire at black men knows no bounds. Even non-black people are talking about it. And you talking like, well, that could get me any man. I'm here for the white boys. I'm with the white boys now. Yawn. Y'all doing these man on the streets interviews. What did the brother ask? What value do black men have? Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. And all those black women said nothing. And a couple of them pretty much said, I'm tired of black men. I'm tired of black men. I'm with the white boys. Young lady, you're probably in your what? Early 20s. We'll see. I hope you have that wedding ring by 30. Because if you don't, then you're going to be out here being pogo sticked in by white men for eternity. Hope you get the mixed kid and the wedding ring out the deal. Let's see. Right? Wow. For a Latino man to record himself speaking about this, you know it had to be bad. Until, just the girl talk, right? I want to emphasize that we live in an anti black society. Afro pessimists speak about this often. Black women have to come to terms with that and stop begging non black people for acceptance. Stop lying to themselves about how accepted they are. Stop lying to themselves about how desirable they are. And grab onto a black man for dear life and have him elevate you and never let go. Everything else is a fool's errand. Every single thing else is a waste of your time and energy. And all you will have is your pride and your ego, and barely even that. Right? And barely even that. Every single other thing that black women are engaging in is a waste. Trying to hide in their career field, trying to hide in school, forever students, perpetually students, right? Trying to hide behind being a single mother to one or two kids, trying to everything else is a waste. Trying to hide by saying, well, I don't want to get married anyway. Yeah. Using the word partner instead of wife, all these coping mechanisms. Calling black men males instead of men. Every single other thing y'all are engaging in is a waste. Hmm? International Ronin, this is sad, bro. And International Ronin says, Z had a young white man in the office that the black women used to sweat like crazy. I told him he could probably get a few, and he responded with the white boy chuckle, they always do, followed with, nah, I'm good. That I want y'all to understand, that rips black women up inside. It shreds them inside. It shreds them inside. It completely and so all they're doing, it's the poker face, no pun. No pun, right? Black women are going out here thinking they could call black men's bluff, You're not desirable. What do you bring? All you got all you got is big D and swag, and you don't even got the big D. What do you? Black men don't haven't done anything. You're not Captain Industry. What have you done? And it rips them apart. That in their minds, they're in the spaces with non-black folks. Many of them are throwing the vagina at non-black folks. Like I said, they're in the spaces. They're doing everything they feel they're supposed to do. And the problem is, black men just gotta be. They hate when they see brothers that, in their minds, barely got any swag, might be a little Carlton Banks ish, with a cute white woman, particularly. Huh? But to admit that it bothers them puts way too much power in black men's hands. So they would much rather try to lie to you about your chances at non-black women, about what you haven't done or how you're not deserving of being desired by non-black people. Notice I didn't just say women. Ooh, huh? So yeah, I'm not at all. Look, International Ronin, I've been there, bro. I've been there. I've worked in white collar spaces and watched tall white dudes, okay looking. They were the face was where, but kind of fit white dudes. I watched the black women damn their chase around them. Dude was not interested. I've watched this by multiple white men, but one that's coming to mind right now. Dude moved to South Florida with his girlfriend, white girlfriend. They end up breaking up down here. It wasn't even his choice to move down here. She wanted to move down here. They end up breaking up. He was the one with the good social circle, which is funny because once again, she's the one. He developed a social circle. She broke up with him. Okay, cool. And his singleness, he was smashing on a chubby Asian chick while he was single. As much as the black women were flirting with him, he didn't smash not a single one of them. He was not interested. And then next thing you know, he's with another white woman, and now he's good. This is his since he's been down here for over a decade now. This is like his third white dude, clearly, right? Black women are incensed that they don't have choices, but black men for the most part. It's driving them crazy that we went from 1967 to present, and for the most part, black women are still in their minds stuck with black men. They do everything but accept that and move accordingly. They lie to themselves. They attempt to lie to black men. They attempt to lie to non-black people. Shout out to the darker skinned sister that was on Daily Wrap Up Crew. I can have any man. I can have me a black man. I can have me a white man. I can have me a Latino man. I can have yawn. I've been to New York. That's BS. Huh? Huh? Oh man. It's the biggest crock of crap ever. Thank you. And Satan Sears says there would be no such thing as, I'm gonna just say the word here. There would be no such thing as a white incel if they weren't racist because Latinas, Asians, and black women are going if the white boy gives them a shot. Exactly. Exactly. When you look at Kidology, Kidology was out here and the white boys wasn't choosing up on her. They saw her as recreational use only, and if even that. And she's in the UK. Huh? And Saint Cyr says, "I'll go get me a white boy." Remember the tweet I shared last night, Z? Okay, your selfish allergies gonna be acting up with that pasta and lobster face all puffy. It's as I said, the Latino guy posted that video, and just the girl talk covered it. And as much as I appreciate her in the work that she's doing, I the framing to Z was still off. The framing was still off. But she doesn't appreciate, I would argue, that maybe she doesn't hate black men. She's married from last time I checked, right? I don't think she appreciates how much black women, especially under the age of 40, are angry and jealous. And yes, some actually do hate black men. Y'all have heard Z say, for the most part, black women don't hate black men. And I stand by that. But some do. And it's not about heartbreak. I want to emphasize that. It's about their position in this society. It's about anger and a jealousy at black men and white women, right? Yeah, I'm hearing about it. And TG says, "Did you hear about the divester on Twitter that recently got dog walked by her white boyfriend? Yeah, and the fact that he was saying that he would let somebody delete his lady, or do you want? No, 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 that's not what he said. Would you let do you want to see me delete my lady? All this stuff. Yeah, I'm loosely I'm following it. I'll you know pay more attention in a minute and read some of the comments and see what's going on with that. But on that note, we'll pause right here for a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves, right? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Y'all gives you a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back, and we're back. And I'm sorry about that, y'all. Reckless streams, y'all already know. And I think Low Volume L is saying Neferkai has a video up about the whole situation. Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Shout out to that brother. He stay on it, my fellow Haitian, right? So I want to continue to emphasize this. Dear black men, this is not about you. This is not about what you haven't done. Shout out to BGS, as he said, like I'm in the I'm in the business of giving an accurate reading of this issue between black men and black women. I'm in the business of continuing to say to black men, this is not about you and what you haven't done. There is no space for low self esteem or being down on yourself, right? Or self loathing because black women are mad that they're not rich and elite white women, right? This is not about you questioning your manhood or your masculinity because black women want to send you off on some send off mission to get slaughtered by white men because she wants you to delete yourself trying to make her a rich and elite white woman, right? This is not about you being paymaster and being in case of emergency break glass black man because she got herself into way too much debt. Huh? This is not about you being crash stepdad, right? Step crash dummy, right? This is not about you making up for her poor decisions. You are not the emotional, verbal, mental, maybe even physical punching bag for some a-hole black woman, for any woman, to be frank with you, or man. Huh? That's why if women want equality, then we'll give it to them. Mr. Z is not about not calling black women cowards, not calling women in general cowards. I'm not about not saying that they're losers, they're losers. No? You have a bunch of loser cowards trying to hide behind feminism about why their life sucks or why they're in crippling debt or why they have 2, 3 kids from 2, 3 different men. Huh? They can reframe it however they want. You have women who are not, you want to talk about not likable, Leisha Miller. Not likable women, black, white, Latina, Asian, or otherwise, who are hiding behind feminism and bossy being a pejorative for why they can't keep a man. Be in a relationship and keep a man. No, ma'am, you are insufferable. You are mean. You are too overly sassy. You are overly snarky. And the reason why you can't get and keep a man is because they don't want your ass. They don't want you. They might want to smash, but you definitely ain't wife material. Huh? Dear black men, if the Latino man could see what it is, then we all know what it is. Huh? Now let me also cover, and y'all like, share, subscribe to the super chat. The clip of the it looked like it was in the UK somewhere. When the brother said, he don't rock with black women, and the black women, his family, it looks like, proceeded to show you exactly why he doesn't. Now, where I will kind of ding him a little bit and say, hey, you didn't have to do all that, or you could have framed that differently, better yet, is and it's on Dating Rights channel. So that's the second link. Is when he said, ain't nobody could tell me about my white women, or I'm never gonna leave my white women alone, or something like that. He said, and I'm like, okay, bro, you yeah. Especially after it looks like your own girl cousins or family members or relatives were calling you a coon. I don't know if that's what you want to say when you get up and move, but let's be very clear to all the ladies that were yelling and barking at the brother. You kind of proved his point though, right? The way y'all responded to him You know, you kind of proved his point, right? All the loud talking and yelling instead of asking questions, even if you're going to make a witty quip about it, you know there were other ways to respond to that, right? Y'all just started barking and calling him coon, kind of proving why he wouldn't want to be in any situation with a black woman. Dear black women, after y'all done lying to yourselves about your prospects with non-black men, y'all don't really get what's going on here. My question to black women is, who do you think is signing up for this? Let me frame that better. Who do you think with options is signing up for this? So we're not talking about bum ass white dudes that don't have any much options. We're not talking about bum ass Latino guys without much options. Which men that are sought after? So average men and above. Who do you think that has any choices and options in women? Who isn't starving in the dating department? What man do you think is signing up for this? Heterosexual straight man. Huh? That is the question, ladies. That is the question. Oh, thank you, Gil Gammy. He said, I like my white women, right? He said, I like my white women. Thank you. Thank you. And y'all gives you a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. Um, yeah, I don't know if I would have said all that, but either way, dear black women, you don't make it any better. You don't make it any easier. Your ethnic image, your image, Kevin tried to tell y'all, your image, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Your image, ladies, your image. You're not making it any better for yourself, for other black women, dear black women, your image. Huh? You not okay, if even if you want to play victim Olympics, there was a way for you to frame this and maybe even try to shame him. Y'all not even good at that. Like these are women in the UK from what I could tell. And it's the same thing. This is what Dr. Umar Johnson was saying to the African sister in Australia. Y'all all saying the same thing. Huh? And Destro says, I gave it the old college try with black women once, but no more. Hey, there you go. And Satan says, let's be honest, their ethnic image is in the mud, and that's because they want it to be. Right? And that's because they want it to be. Black women's ethnic image is in the mud because they refuse to actually regulate themselves, regulate their emotions and their reactions and their responses. They want to practice negative liberty at the highest degree, and then everybody must conform to however they move, and the rest of the world sit to hell with that. So, in that respect, I 100% agree with Dr. Tommy Curry about black women wanting to be white men in that respect. Definitely. Huh? Dear black women, you could sound like that, you could speak like that, you can move like that, and it will affect you in your love life, in your sex life, in your relationship life with black men and non-black men. You will relegate yourself and other black women to recreational use only, and then you will turn around and tell us eventually You never want to get married anyway. Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? Ain't nothing special about black men anyway. Ain't nothing special about men anyway. Whatever. Whatever you have to tell yourself to sleep at night. Black women's image, ethnic image, is in the mud because they want it to be, because they let it be. We understand we live in an anti-black society, right? Shout out to the Afro pessimists. We understand what world we live in. And black women make it no better by the way they speak, particularly in public. Look at what we observed with black women in the UK speaking to their own, what it looks like, relative. And then look at what the Latino man told you was going at a get together. It's the same, right? We are literally talking about two sides of the Atlantic Ocean, and it's the same, right? And y'all gives you a second, right? Okay, and we're back. That's what I wanted to see. So dating right. Something else he covered was that news segment where the sister was flirting with the looks like white man, but maybe a different type of white. He doesn't look waspy white, but he could be. Um, and she's doing this obviously live on air, and obviously he's flirting with her back. As a matter of fact, it's like almost like he initiated either way. And she's essentially saying that she's with the dark meat right now, but if I guess things don't go right these holidays, so we'll see, then she will be entertaining white meat. And to that young lady, I said, call our bluff, go. Huh? To that young lady, I said, call our bluff and go. Go with that same white news anchor that you were sitting next to, and let's see what it turns out to be. Hopefully, you get the mixed kid in the wedding ring, right? Hopefully, you get the mixed kid in the wedding ring. Hopefully, for your sake. Huh? Black women want to keep on calling black men's bluff. I say do it. Hopefully, y'all get what y'all are looking for. That great lifestyle with the white husband and the mixed children in the burbs, with the luxury SUV and the right and the kids going to some really, really nice public school or private school. Hopefully, you get it. And if not, so be it. But you can never come back here. Huh? Huh? Hopefully, you can get what you want. And Saint Cyr says, Z, I really wish you spoke French and or were familiar enough with it to keep up with it. The conversation in French be wild. The francophone black men are savage, laughing my butt off. Ask Gilgami. You know, yeah, it would take a little bit. If I really put my mind to it, I could be more proficient at understanding, right? As a matter of fact, what did I watch between yesterday and today, earlier this morning, with a French white dude and a black woman, and it not going so well. No, 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 no. I said that wrong. It was the white woman that went out with a French white dude, and then at the end of it, I think it was from Just Dating. But I've seen this clip a few months ago actually, and it was the white woman that went out with some French dude that she said, and he asked for the check, and he said two checks, and she started tearing up talking about it. She recorded herself, I guess, after the date, and she was like, she really wants to go on a proper date where the man pays for everything. No, y'all wanted equality. Eat that, huh? Dear ladies, Dr. Richard Reef told you broken glass. You wanted equality. Eat that. Admit what you actually want. You want feminist, excuse me, you want patriarchy, better yet, by feminist specifications. Say it again, Z. Ladies, you want patriarchy by feminist specifications. You want to rebrand the parts of patriarchy that you like as being benevolent patriarchy, as even not being patriarchy. It's just a good person doing a kind thing. Well, you're the one who asked me out on the date, so shouldn't you pay? Right? And the men said no. Uh-oh. Right? Wow. Huh? Dear ladies, this is what you asked for. This is what you asked for. Say it again. See, this is what you asked for. And there's the other clip of the bald white dude listening to these ladies talk about paymaster men, and he said, "I got probably more money than you by 3 times." Once again, link is in the description box. Dating right, and he didn't say it, but he essentially said it, lady. If you come over here, you will be regulated to recreational use only. Those white guys know, dear black women, everyone sees you. Dear women of color, everyone sees you. Dear women in writ large, everyone sees you. Other women see you. Men see you. Huh? Global free agencies. Honestly, I recently saw almost no black women with French men in Paris. A few, but nothing to write home about. Huh? Gil Cami says, indeed, even in France, you hear the sisters engage in similar nonsense, then wondering why brothers end up with Moroccans. Right? I get it. I get that this society put black people in a weird ass pincer move. And what the West has done to black people is essentially try to use us and our bodies as props in their play, right? White people are the actual characters, and people of color and everyone else in this society on this planet are just props for them, particularly black people. And so a black man's body is just something for a white woman to enjoy. And a black woman's body is something for a white man to enjoy until he's done with it, then discard. Same thing with a black man's body. And I get the black people who are trying their hardest to prove to themselves and to prove to white people that they are worthy of love from said white people, not from each other. Oh no, black people don't care what the hell another black person got to say. Oh no, we discount that, we dismiss it, we insult it actually. I get it. But to the black women in France, to the black women in Germany, to the black women in the UK, to the black women in Canada, to the black women in America, to the black women in Australia, to the black women all across the West and in the Middle East and in South Asia and in East Asia, I say you got to get right with self first. Black men second, black men first, right? But all of this pining and begging, and even if you think you're not begging, that's the funniest part. Even if you think you're not begging, dear black women, it's clear that you're begging. All that swaggy and arrogant begging and trying to call people's bluff and say, okay, get me any man, right? Or I've dated this type of man and that type of, nobody believes you, first of all, even if you're telling the truth. Where's the wedding ring? Huh? Dear black women, unless you get good with black men first, you could kiss all of that beauty hierarchy thing goodbye. Any chance you have at challenging the European beauty standard, any chance you have at your femininity being acknowledged by non-black men, all of that's gone. And you can't become that individually. Naomi Campbell been a beauty and sex symbol for decades. What that mean for the majority of black women? Nothing. Tyra Banks, same thing, nothing. Vanessa Williams, same thing, nothing. Right? Lupita, same thing, nothing. It means nothing. Huh? Right? And Charles Irby says, and this is exactly what Mr. Zia said. My brother's ex-Kenyan wife is calling him a colorist for marrying a Moroccan woman. She had the baton, she refused to run with it. The Moroccan woman picked it up and ran the race. Huh? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And that's exactly what Zia's saying. Black women are fumbling the bag with black men. They swear they can get a non-black man that's better than black men. Maybe even one that's worse, but they'll make it happen and lie and smile in our faces at the family get together about how great their white boyfriend or husband is. And we'll find out in divorce court how much she was lying. And how he slipped up and on purpose said the N word a couple of times. Oops. If not, Sid had definitely treated her like that. Black women swear there's better than black men for them in any significant number. They run into the wall. That's not the case. But it's too late because they fumbled the bag with black men. Black men are supposed to stay there, watch black women be the human trampoline for non-black men, watch non-black men pogo stick up and down black women's esophagus and use her throat as a baby depository. And black men are supposed to stay there because I don't know what black women think they're trying to do, cuck black men. And black men are supposed to stay there and wait until black women realize that those white men and Latino men, I'm not even going to mention Asians, that's not a thing, are not going to take them seriously. And then black men are supposed to wife up those black women afterward and then kill himself in pursuit of making her that upper middle class and above white woman that she wished she was. The fantasy playing on in women's minds writ large, women of color minds specifically, black women even more specifically, is absolutely positively straight jacket level delusional. Huh? It's straight jacket level delusional, right? Saint Cyr, I want to say that I saw that. I saw it. I did see it. I did see it. And Saint Cyr says, don't forget to Gilgami, don't forget the Algerians. I shared a tweet in here earlier of an Algerian woman praising black men with positive words of affirmation, and a chick from London called her weird. Hey, these women from developing nations, some non-black women in the West, they're going to grab up black men. They're going to grab up black men. And black women are going to be out here looking sick. This is why I'm telling y'all, this is one of the reasons why Gen Z black women and younger millennial black women are so goddamn same-sex loving. That's why so many of them are bisexual. That's why so many of them are straight up the L in LGBTQ. They got nowhere else to go. They have Black women don't want to admit it to themselves. They have nowhere else to go. They're fumbling the bag with black men. Non-black women are picking them up, picking up black men, and black women, they can't move the same. And instead of appreciating black men and holding on to black men for dear life, they're throwing away what they deem as their trash. Non-black women are saying, well, one woman's trash is another woman's treasure. And then black women who think they can scoop up the white men on the back end, the Latino men on the back end, Asian men, it's not a thing. They wake up, it didn't work, and so there's nowhere else to go. Now you either got to be a side chick to one of these dudes, Or are you gonna go munch on vagina and tell us how much love is love and you can't help who you love? Huh? Right? Huh? So black women across the board are just fumbling the bag. I said it to y'all. One of my fears for black women, and I'm gonna continue to say it because I want this to stick. And if this does happen, I don't want anyone to say they didn't see this coming. If black women continue down this road, which it looks like very likely they will be relegated to being the weird, mystic, hypersexual, hyper misandrous women in the outskirts of major cities all across the West. And you only go there as a woman if you try to get your fortune told, or you try to get some mystic reading, or you trying to, like gypsies, essentially what many of you have said. Black women will relegate themselves into the gypsy class of the West. Y'all will have a bunch of kids out of wedlock, no man in sight really, or if you do, those men will be pretty much handpicked, excuse me, men. It will be essentially a hyena tribe or clan or however it goes. And as I said, as a woman, you will only go over there if you're trying to get a reading, or if you're trying to do some magical work or spiritual work, etc., etc. And as a man, you only go over there to get your rocks off, but you're risking your reputation, you're risking your life, you're risking a disease, you're risking, right, being robbed, all of that. Black women continue down this road, and what we see in certain major cities already, where just rows of apartment complexes or block after block of single mom neighborhoods, that will become a fixture, right? Exactly. And from Africa, I came said regulating themselves to a favela class. Huh? And you will have a handful of black women that are not like that. The Breonna Joy Grays of the world, the Kim Fosters of the world, maybe the Chrissies of the world, right? Obviously the Ketanji Brown Jacksons of the world, etc., the Condoleezas, the Susan Rice, etc., the Michelle Obamas, the Oprahs. But for the masses of them, they'll be sexy red, right? And there you go. Oh boy. Black women that's what they will do to themselves. And those of them in those spaces that have sons, some of those sons will get their mind right and they will leave, right? They will leave. They will be those Amish folks that got into the city and then never come back. Hey, I was able to make it outside of Amish country and I'm doing pretty well for myself. And they'll just never go back. Huh? Oh boy. Hey, only logical. This is what Mr. C is saying. And only logical says, and if you don't mind sending that to me, only logical. Only Logical says there was this body cam video on YouTube where cops were. I'm assuming I said that wrong. Let's say it again. There was a body cam video on YouTube where cops went to some apartment building and it was filled with single black women, children, studs, and no men. There were more studs than men in that town. Wow. Somebody, if the men are not there because the men with some means and resources, or who might have met a woman in that space and she had her mind right, he grabbed her hand, like I told you, grabbed her hand and ran out, and she was going. She didn't want to be there neither. And the men who were single and had their minds right, they left. So somebody got to be the quote unquote man in that environment, and it's the studs. They're fulfilling that quote unquote man role. Huh? Dear ladies, I am not, and I want to be very clear. In these spaces, we speak about the formula. Even Sank Uger from TYT, um, it was one of these, the marriage rate numbers are going down that he covered, him and Anna Kasparian covered. And he spoke about it. He said, if you follow the script, yeah, your life will be pretty okay, maybe. Right? So like even leftists will admit this. Now they might have issues with the script, and the script might be racist and classist, et cetera, and elitist. Okay, but there's formulas to this. Mr. Z is going somewhere with this. It's not random. When you listen to a number of women talk, even the ones that followed the script, they often speak like everything is up in the air. And yes, that's true. There is no guarantee. And yet there is still best practices. And what you have is a number of black women in specific that, because LeBron James' mom had LeBron James, they look at that and say, well, it's doable, it's possible. And because it's possible, possible gets mistaken for probable. And these women refuse to discipline themselves. They refuse to follow the script, follow the formula, and their life ends up upside down. Huh? Oh boy. And we need to emphasize that. Black women have decided in great number that they're not following no game rules, no game plan, definitely not scripted by black men. And that's both black women in the hood and out of the hood. And when their life ends up upside down, both in the hood and out of the hood, well, it's black men's fault. Because black men were supposed to create a system where black women were able to freestyle and still win. Because that's what they think white women are able to do. Because Kim Kardashian, yawn. Huh? If you were a real man, then I wouldn't have to be with an individual real black man. I could do whatever I want to do, and people would know better than to touch me or harm me, and people would give me favor because they know that black men are so kick ass that you got to do for black women, or the black men will come and regulate. Huh? This weird, insane notion of power. This is why I said delusional on the level, excuse me, of straitjackets, needing straitjackets. They don't want to follow a script or rules or norms specifically designed by black men, and that's okay. Well, we see what that marriage rate is. Huh? We see what that birth rate is in the black community. It's going down in the black community also. Huh? The birth rate is going down in the black community also. And what? Dear black women. Huh? And Telescope says, sounds like delusional Thunderdome Mad Max black women politics. Say that. And talking about that, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Z, you said on the way in again because people are still going in or coming in. And Gil Gami says, and thank you for the super chat. Greetings to the SW and all. Mr. Z's lost on SW. And he says, happy Subjumu. Right? Yes, really, yes. As a matter of fact, so I was supposed to go and get my Subjumu that my mom made a couple of days ago, but I'm gonna get it today. So you know, reckless streams, don't put it in the comments, don't put it in the comments. But yeah, we're gonna go get that Super Jumo in a little bit later, right? Huh. Yeah, I remember. And Indigo says, when them Negroes trashed that Asian beauty supply for violating, um, though Keisha them was back the next day. Hey, and that's because black women, they don't care. Black women are just angry that them not caring has a cost to it. Black women do not care. Black women are freestyling and doing whatever the hell they want to do. I keep on saying that black women are dealing with the cost of freestyling and doing whatever the hell they want to do. And they are angry because it's not fair that they don't get to practice negative liberty and be free right in 21, even when they goddamn 57, like Lisa Ray, excuse me. Huh? Black women think their sass is cute. They don't appreciate that non-black men and black men see that sass as something to overcome when we come in. Ooh, goddamn, Z. Ooh, goddamn. And y'all gives you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back, right? Like, if a man dares, he sees that sass and that nobody could tell me what to do as something to conquer. This is something that black women don't really appreciate. Black men and non-black men see all of that as something to conquer. And once he's done conquering you, he will discard you. It's attractive in the way of like winning a fight is appealing. Huh? Wow. And Eric Deadman says, and let me read this one now. Shout out to Eric Denman. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Don't worry, y'all. I am going to be working on, and I'm gonna have different levels. Shout out to Art New Style. Following that brother's footsteps. I'm gonna have like different sound effects and stuff like that. I'm gonna see how many of these kind of different things I can utilize. But I'm gonna have different sound effects, maybe even different memes and video clips for the different levels of super chat. So we'll see. Yeah. Right. And Eric Deadman says April um 24, 26, 2025. Okay, I get what you're saying. April 24th through the 26th, 2025 is the date for the NFL draft. Save the date to your calendar to see a masterclass in coping, gaslighting, deflection, projection, and all around Negroes ain't ishism. Hysterical. I agree. I agree. right? I agree. But that's because those are rich Negroes, right? You know, I had a conversation with my lady, and I was like, babe, have you considered how much money I've slid you over the past few years we've been in a relationship, right? That I don't even think about. Have you considered the things I've bought you? The just the we're not even talking about the emotional labor and whatnot. We're just literally talking about the money, the finances, like that I'm helping you get through, right? The things that you I saw you looking at when we were window shopping or at the mall, and then I went back and got it, which by the way is what I did for her this Christmas. But I don't have my lady's gift. Okay, and I told her already. My lady's gift was sitting in my trunk, the trunk of my car since July. Her Christmas gift was sitting in the trunk of my car since July. I got I got scared that she would eventually go in the trunk looking for something or whatever. I would send her in my car to look for something and she would find it. So I left it at my mom's house for the past 2 months. I left it at my parents' house for the past 2 months, right? It was a polo jacket that she saw, and at the time I was like, "Yeah, babe, I ain't buying that. That's expensive, right?" And I messed around and went and bought it, and then bought me one too. But kind of, it's literally the same exact jacket, but the stitching is a little different. The because it's almost like this army, multi-purpose jacket. But the tags and stuff, the one I bought for myself is a little different than hers, but it's the same jacket for the most part, right? And I'm saying all of that to say women get it when it's rich men. When it's rich men, when it's men that the resources are just so in your face. His lifestyle that he's going to be able to provide, his wife, his girlfriend, his side chicks, it's just so in your face. But the women don't appreciate that even when you come down here to the not even middle class or upper middle class, right? But when you come down here to working class, we're still subsidizing women at the tune of thousands of dollars a year. Not hundreds, but thousands of dollars a year we're adding on to them. Whether that's paying a car note, whether that's paying a light bill, whether that's paying cell phone bills, whether that's buying food, whether that's groceries, all the toiletries and stuff like that at the house, whether all the stuff. And we're talking about women that you live with, that you don't live with, right? Global free agent said, "Warning: Don't window shop at Louis Vuitton." Nah, Z ain't that dumb. My lady knows she ain't gonna catch me slipping like that. Now we go to Louis Vuitton window shopping. If I say I ain't getting it, I ain't getting it. Ain't no 3, 4 months later, 6 months later, you gonna get it for Christmas or your birthday or something. No, I ain't. Nope, nope, nope. If I'm going to Louis Vuitton to buy her something, I'm buying it. And that would have meant that I'd already saved. I already made sure it's not gonna hurt my wallets. That money was already being designated for that already. I ain't killing. Nah, Z ain't killing his wallets. Nope, not nah, nah. We ain't doing that. I love Ms. Z, but nah, nope. Right? Shout out to Ms. Z if she listening. She already know. Huh? But black women, I would argue black women and a lot of non-black women, if we're gonna be honest, this is not exclusively a black women thing. I think black women are the worst at this. They don't appreciate how much we subsidize them. And your $40,000 a year lifestyle based off of your income, your man, your boyfriend is making your $40,000 a year lifestyle a $43,000 a year lifestyle, a 42, a 45, maybe a $48,000 a year lifestyle because he's paying for things for you, because he's looking out financially for you, right? Oh boy. Huh? And there are a number of women that really don't appreciate. Black women don't appreciate it. They don't appreciate it to their own detriment. To their own detriment, they don't appreciate it, and there's a cost to that, right? Why does it have to be so overt? And what are black men asking for in response? Cooperation, cooperation, right? Black women said, "We won't even give you cooperation. Just hand over the money because we exist, because I grace you with my presence, because I am your queen." And every man, including train tracks, including black men, said, "Yeah, about that, no." Huh? Oh boy. I would argue, and I had this conversation with Reese. Shout out to the brother Reese. Years ago on the Roger Reports channel, years and years and years ago. This had to be like maybe even 5 years ago at this point, but something like that, 4 to 5 years ago. I had this conversation with Reese, and I said it um on a number of platforms, on a number of different brothers' channels in the Black Manosphere over the past few years. But I haven't said it on this channel. I think more than once, maybe. Um, I would argue the majority of black men aren't asking for submission. We're using the word submission. I don't know how many of us are actually asking for that. I think the majority of black men want at least cooperation. I think the majority of black men actually want cooperation. I think the white guys want submission. I think the Latino guys want submission. I don't think black men are there. I think we're using the word submission. We actually want cooperation, right? Oh man, somebody tells you he lying, huh? And Mr. Schick to use his correction, Z living a 100K lifestyle on 48K salary, hysterical and true. Thank you. And Ishmael says they don't appreciate it because somehow they expect and feel entitled to it, right? Once again, um, they don't appreciate it because somehow they expect and feel entitled to it. Oh boy, say that, right? And I would agree with that. I would agree with that, right? And here we are. We're subsidizing these women's life, and yet their response is, "Well, I'm not rich though. I still got to lift a finger though," right? How am I supposed to be in my feminine if you got me out here lifting a finger? If I have to go to work, huh? Which once again, and this is where you see Sarge Willie Pete is going haywire sometimes, is watching black women say, "I want to run things, I want you to fund it." This is why Mr. Look, Sarge Willie Pete, I didn't have to be told that by black women. I already knew that's what they were on. Now with social media and the internet, they're finally getting to it. They want paymasters, once again, that protect, provide, and shut up. Huh? They want paymasters that protect, provide, and shut up. Right? Telescope says the phrase "lost cause" comes to mind. Z, hysterical, right? Oh boy, for us to see this Latino man speak about black women this way. And he wasn't racist. He wasn't necessarily being anti-black. He gave you an observation and then he asked a question. Or he asked the question and gave you the observation that inspired the question. He went to an event, he went to a gathering, right? And a Latina was with a black man and she made him a plate. And the black women were like, why are you making him a plate? And he said, why don't black women want to cater to black men? That is a Latino who is observing black women being mean and antagonistic to and cock blocking black men. Dear black women, non-black people see you. Now, what you're gonna do is try to make excuses for it and tell them how they don't understand the black community and how they don't understand black men and how they don't understand how much black men have put black women through. Hey, if you think black men don't care what you're talking about, you really don't understand. What happens is you're lucky these lame ass liberal white men entertain your BS. Nobody else care what you're talking about. As a matter of fact, those white liberal men that are entertaining your BS, they don't care what you're talking about neither. They just going down the road of, yeah, let me entertain her with the BS. There. You have the brother that in the UK speaking about him being with white women and being in relationship with white women and how he don't date black women and black women and that looks like his excuse me, his family members are barking at him, proving his point. Huh? Proving his point. Dear black women, you are making yourself this. This is what you're doing to yourself. Your ethnic image. Your ethnic image, dear black women. Huh? You're bad. And these are not black men saying this. So Raya Brooks tried to tell y'all just look at her as some non-black pick-me. Even Jeannie Mai didn't appreciate or like the way Lonnie Love would talk about black men. These non-black women who may not even make it work with the black man, they don't even like the way, but unless they're straight up anti-black misandrous, they don't even like the way black women overtly in your face on camera talk about black men because y'all are angry that y'all are not upper middle class and above white women. And here's the kicker. These other non-black women are too. They just know better than to broadcast their disdain for black men because they're not rich white women. Huh? Wow. You got the black woman overtly flirting with the white guy on camera at the news station. Huh? And black men are supposed to do what with this? Dear black women, real question. What are black men supposed to do with this? She's trying to put whatever black man she's with right now on notice. Dear black women, dear women writ large, if you're dealing with an actual real man, you know, those quote unquote real man you keep on talking about, you can't call our bluff. We will go the wrong way out of spite every time. I'm in a room full of men right now. Dear men, tell Z he lying. Tell Z he's lying. Dear women, do not call a man's bluff. He gonna go left on you out of spite. Huh? So to that young lady on that news station, you trying to give ultimatums out here to whatever black man it is which you're with, I bet you it didn't work. I put money it did not work. I hope you and that white news anchor, I hope y'all make it work. I hope y'all make it work. No? Oh man. Dear black women, I get it. It ain't fair. It's not fair. You're not a rich white woman. I get it. I get it. But nobody cares, bro. Black men aren't rich white men. Black men aren't rich white men. And yet black men were able to carve out a space for themselves as a juxtaposition to white hegemonic masculinity, white supremacist masculinity. This is why Asian men can earn more than white men but can't pull as much as black men. Huh? Because they haven't given the world a different image of what a man could be. Even with K-pop, it's still not enough. And y'all gives you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back, right? Oh boy. So black women calling black men's bluff, not smart. Black women showing they ass in front of everyone, not smart. Black women thinking that the majority of people will agree inside and understand them and their outright antagonism of black men and their misandry towards black men, right? And trying to use these mythical, magical white men as a tool of what antagonizing black men. And how is that going exactly for the masses of black women who engage in it? Let's see those 3 or 4 black women that were on that clip that Passport OG posted that were on that college campus that said black men have nothing to offer, and one of them said, I'm out here with the white boys." Let's see if we catch up with them in a decade if if they are married to the white man or to any non-black man. I'll even open it up to any non-black man. Let's see. Or if they're single as hell, or if they're in a relationship with a black woman. Ooh, goddamn, Z. Huh? Uh-oh. Z, you're not supposed to say that. I said it. Huh? And once again, Eric Deadman, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? So I might reuse this title again. And once again, the title for this video is The Detestable, Insufferable Black Man. Because that's how black women speak of us. I want to be very clear. Black women speak of black men as if black men are insufferable and detestable, while also complaining about the European beauty standard, right? While also complaining about rich black men not being in a relationship with black women, not being an intimate relationship, intimate romantic relationship with black women. Remember, you're the insufferable ones, black women. That's what society's telling you. But fine, black men, you are the insufferable ones. You are the detestable ones. And yet, black women try to do the Omarion not bothered, as Eric Denman said. They try to do the Omarion not bothered every draft, every NFL, NBA draft. Black women try to do the Omarion not bothered. But remember, black men, you are the detestable ones. You are the insufferable ones. Dear black men, you have the higher marriage rate, but remember, according to black women, you are the detestable ones. You are the insufferable ones. Huh? Y'all remember, was that a Latina that was in the military and that recorded herself? This was years ago. And she was describing these sassy women who are mean and they just, you can't tell them nothing. And we all knew she was talking about black women. She never said black women. She never said black women. And when she was doing the mannerisms and the head rolling and the attitude thing, and you knew she was talking about black women. But remember, black men, you're the detestable ones. You are the insufferable ones. Huh? You are the insufferable ones. You are the detestable ones. Huh? Even though you have a higher marriage rate, even though you earn more than black women while having less college degrees than them. Oops. Huh? Even though you're not the one with the stereotype about bad customer service, etc., etc. That's not you're not the one with that stereotype. But remember, you're the insufferable ones. You are the detestable ones. Huh? Oh boy. According to many black women, black men are insufferable, they are detestable, they're irredeemable, they're disgusting, they're effeminate while also at the same time being hyper masculine. Remember, black men, this is you. And yet, more of black men are married out. Black men, there are more black men that earn $100,000 a year or more. While remember, there are less black men overall in America, but yet there are more black men that earn over $100,000. There are more black men that are millionaires. There are more black men that are billionaires. There are more black men, I think, that earn what, over 50 also. Black women occupy, there are more black women under the what, 40 some odd $1,000 range. But I think it's about 50,000 on up. Black men outpace black women by a couple 100,000 in each financial category. Huh? But yet, remember, black men, you are the detestable ones and the insufferable ones. You are the detestable ones and the insufferable ones. Black men, remember that. That is why non-black women are waiting outside of the men's locker room just about at any goddamn stadium in America. They're waiting for the black men, but remember, black men, you are the detestables and insufferable ones, right? You are the detestable ones and the insufferable ones. That's why when Kevin was lecturing black men, his viewership wasn't gaining traction like that. But when he started to speak to black women, his viewership exploded. Because remember, black men, you are the detestable ones and insufferable ones. Huh? Dear black men, remember, you are the detestable ones and insufferable ones. That is why incel white folks are throwing up and be like, hell, I would rather be single when people mention you. Uh-oh. Remember, black men, you are the detestable ones and insufferable ones. Oh boy. There was again Eric Deadman. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And KMS, thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And KMS says, black women have the worst relationship PR, public relations on the planet. Not only does it not benefit them, it doesn't benefit anyone tied to them either. They killed them. They killed stepfatherism. True. What does that sound like? Sounds stupid, hysterical. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. KMS. Yeah, no, they're the ones that single-handedly killed stepfatherism. Because black men just said it's not valued, right? The clip from the Pop the Balloon show where they interviewed them afterward, and that young lady who had a cute face, you could tell she was a cutie when she didn't have the three kids from three different dudes. But the one that had the orange dress when they were on the Pop the Balloon show, but now I guess she had the blonde and black braids, and she was like, you essentially she was trying to make excuses for why a man should sign up to be a stepdad to women like her. And she was like, somebody got to take care of these kids. And I'm looking for a man that knows he's a man and that somebody like, yo, this community eunuch slash African kinship network slash gynocracy slash hyena clan crap that black women are trying to pull off. Look, men with means and resources are not signing up for that. You have been relegated to bum Negroes. Dear young lady, even with your cute ass face. Nope. That's what the brother told you too. I want you to understand. He spoke for the vast majority of us, all of us. Exactly, Trell. A real man. Get your real man ass out of here. Huh? She really was on that interview. Like, I'm looking for a man that essentially knows he's a man, and it don't matter what situation he's in, he's supposed to be paymaster extraordinaire. Exactly, Eric Deadman, ConcuSurfs. Especially a black man. A black man is supposed to know that his role is to be a ConcuSurf. Huh? Imagine being in a community where a woman knows that she's presenting men with the raw deal and she doesn't come to terms with that. And when she sees you might take a liking to her, she says, listen, listen, listen. I have three kids from three different men. I like you. I know it's a lot. If you're willing to work with me, I'm willing to make it worth your while. Yes, you can discipline my kids. I am going to be as accommodating as humanly possible, right? Now, once again, the likeliness of a man signing up for that is still like infinitesimal. But at least you sweeten up the pot just a little bit. But instead of doing that, what we have from black women is a real man knows that no matter what situation he get in, a real man knows that he's supposed to be yawn. That's hysterical. And Saint Cyr says black women past platonic relationships equal 360 deal. Right? And St. Cyr says, Z, I've never known a black woman past the platonic level, and I honestly don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. If you were to meet the right one, a really chill, good black woman, a good person that's a black woman, yes, you would be missing out. Now, how likely are you to meet that? In a romantic sense, oof, it's a different conversation. Huh? Oh, man. And, when Saint Cyr says here, black women past platonic relationships equal 360 deal. I wonder if the cost of slavery, Jim Crow, excuse me, has put such a negative cost benefit analysis on black people so much that we borderline can't be with each other. And black men are still willing to make it work and eat the loss while black women are not, right? And I'm considering that when you consider how Tone Talks and especially Yvette kind of stressed that where for black and it's something that Rogish kind of spoke to uh, a couple of months ago on my channel where we were speaking and he was said something essentially like white folks are the infrastructure. White folks, their literal being is the wealth. The way the system has been constructed concerning white folks, particularly obviously upper middle class white folks and above, is he and she are the wealth, right? Now, when you consider that, what would that make the opposite end, black folks? You would be the antithesis of wealth. Money would be running from you. And I wonder when you listen to black women talk, maybe they can't articulate it correctly. And yes, Mr. Z is doing way too much explaining for black women. I get it. I get it. But what they're feeling is the weight of anti blackness that has been thrusted on their shoulders. And they're screaming and yelling and crying because they want this off of them. And they're blaming black men for it. Once again, dear black women, you got to take that up with white society, white men, and white women. Huh? And so black men are willing to do the heavy lifting without insane, delusional, Disney-esque ideas of opulent wealth. And though some of us will get there, some of us will do pretty well in life. For black women, anything short of being able to look down on others, namely white women, then what's the point? Huh? I wonder, right? Because when Saint Cyr says black women relationship with romantic relationship with black women essentially is a 360 deal, and you consider with a number of black women, and even BGS covered this a few years ago when they did the economically unattractive men are leading to a downturn in marriage, and black women were polled about what constitute a real man for them or what they see as masculinity compared to white women, and white women were actually a bit more funny enough, a bit more relaxing. They were a bit more excuse me, not relaxing, wrong word, accommodating when it came to what they saw the tenets of being a man as, and where black women were so stone cold about it. It just spoke to me about how black women feel, particularly concerning black men, that black men must make up for slavery, Jim Crow, and make up for not being white men by overextending ourselves. This is why that young lady that said I missed the days, and it was a black woman who said I missed the days when men would just work, die, and leave you their life insurance money. And like, yeah, because that's what manhood is to her, right? Namer says, Namer says, oh no, Z is doing the dreaded man, quote unquote, mansplaining. Run for your lives, hysterical. And I really did consider, I really did see a bunch of people like running for their lives with their arms flailing in the wind, screaming, right? Like Godzilla just popped up in Tokyo or something, right? Yeah, she did. And Destro says on the Pop the Balloon reunion show, a 3 for 3 baby mama. That's the one I'm referring to. A 3 for 3 baby mama said it takes a village. When asked why a dude should be a stepdad while still expecting him to provide 100%. Yeah, that's the woman I'm talking about. That's the exact woman I'm talking about. That's the one I'm referring to exactly. Yeah, she did say that. Right? Exactly. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Um, who was that? That was Laura from Shay Sade's channel. Exactly. And Mr. Shook to you says a white woman, um, white men start on a pedestal, black men start in a hole. Yep, a white woman said that. Now, yes, she's married to a black man, and now she's a South Florida native. Well, she's not a South Florida native, but now she's in South Florida. Yes, Laura said that. Laura said that on Shay Sade's channel. White woman. Yeah, I remember that, Mr. Shook to you. Right? I remember that. I was on that. I spoke to her. She said that before I jumped on the panel. Huh? Yep. Now, a white woman said that. And Paris Milan, a black woman, said to Z when Asia Maynard case was a thing. A black woman, once again, Paris Milan said to Z, but you're a man. When I was speaking to her about the plight of black men in specific, she said, but you're a man though. And I'm a woman. So while black women outpacing black men, essentially is what she said, paraphrasing. First of all, yes and no. That's not actually true. Not really. Not financially, at least. So that's number one. Number two, a white woman is saying that black men start in the hole while white men start on the pedestal. A black woman is minimizing the plight of black men. And black women don't understand why black men are gravitating to non black women. So Raya Brooks told you the way she treated her man and how surprised and shocked he was about her. She's saying her basic feminine skills. She's telling you she's not even talking about no crazy extreme feminist stuff that, or excuse me, feminine stuff that she's doing. Huh? Dear black women, it's your ideas and concepts about what you're not going to do specifically for black men that helps put you in this position. Dear black women, you don't owe black men anything. And you want to know what the problem is? Ooh, Z, say that. You feel like you don't owe black men anything. Goddamn, Z. Black women, you will either do right by black men or you will suffer the consequences of not doing right by black men. You will have non black people looking at you because let's be very clear. If that one Latino man recorded himself speaking about this, you know how many other Latino people, Latino men have observed this and said nothing and just said, yep, I can't do nothing with a black woman except use her for recreational use. If you have white comedians speaking about how uncomfortable it is watching black women talk crap about black men in their presence, these are white men, by the way, who have dated black women. If one white comedian said it, how often has it happened? And that white comedian has had fun with a black woman and never married one. Bill Maher, anyone? Goddamn Z. Uh oh. You wasn't supposed to say that out loud. What's the other guy's name that Khalees was dating? Bill Murray or whatever his name is? Uh oh. Huh? Huh? Jim Carrey was on Living Color. You trying to tell me Jim Carrey ain't never touched a black woman? I doubt it. Huh? Uh oh. Oh man. Say that. And oh yeah, Tony Meyer says Bill Burr is married to a black woman. Not Bill Burr. That's not who I'm speaking about. I know Bill Burr is married to a black woman. I'm talking about the one that Khalees was dating for a little bit, for like all of 2 seconds. Huh? Black women are destroying their reputation, not even among black men, but among non-black folks, non-black men. Huh? That's their ethnic image that they're dragging through the mud. For y'all to record y'all barking on your relatives who say they don't date black women and not actually like try to shame it. Okay, if somebody's gonna record it, if you're gonna play the game, then play the game. You're supposed to play victim. You're supposed to, why? What did we do to you? Right? Bring up some random black girl that used to like him in high school or something like that. Ah, but you can't, because black women are apparently, even in the UK, antagonistic to black men. Ah, and black girls are antagonistic to black boys. Ah, Bill Murray. That's what I thought. Thank you, Revelat. It was Bill Murray. Yeah, right. Oh man. And once again, KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Inspired Truth Broadcast says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Glorilla has a whole song about ninjas ain't ish. Same thing, different day, 20 years later. Yeah. Which is funny because she has another song with T Pain about, some brother that she sees, or he sees her walking through the gas station parking lot, and he envisions a whole relationship with her and getting married and having a kid and whatever. Right? I'm gonna say this right now. Glorilla, I could definitely see her married. Glorilla, let me say this. Glorilla gonna she gonna trick a lot of these chicks. Glorilla gonna settle down. Mark these words. Glorilla is gonna settle down. Meg Thee Stallion gonna stay out here. Cardi B is coming back out here. Glorilla gonna settle down. Mark these words. From on the outside looking in, from what I think I can see about her personality, she gonna settle down. More than likely with a black man, she gonna settle down. Watch. Mark these words. Huh? Mark Z's where she's gonna settle down. There's a couple of them that when you watch their interviews, you listen to them talk, you're like, yeah, you gonna settle down. You gonna relax. You gonna enjoy your fame. You gonna enjoy the money. You gonna travel. And I'm gonna give it a couple more years. You gonna find one of these dudes, and you gonna chill out. And Trell says, and Big Glow likes to cook. He would know. One of your Tennessee natives, right? Right. So I'm letting y'all know now. When y'all see Glorilla boot up with whoever it is, it could be a white man. But when you see her boot up in the future, remember Z's told y'all, right? I'm just saying, don't be surprised. Cardi B gonna come back out here. She gonna get ran through, and she gonna regret leaving Offset. Don't worry about it. Whether she say it or not is a different conversation. She gonna regret leaving him, because you got what, 2, 3 kids now from Offset. Hey, ain't nothing out here for you except for Hard D and Bubblegum from all those dudes who've been drooling over you, but they ain't gonna wife you, right? Huh? Oh boy. And we use these celebrities to paint a picture, right? Excuse me, y'all. We use these celebrities to paint a picture. We use what these women are saying to paint a picture. We're speaking about, excuse me, the women at the highest heights in our society. They have the access. Some of them have the status. Some of them have the pedigree. Many of them have the looks, or at least used to have the looks. And you watch them squander it, right? You watch them squander it. Huh? So I just want to emphasize that. Dear black women, you are your own worst enemy when it comes to your ethnic image. That is what the Latino man was essentially saying to you. He didn't say anything about the black man being antagonistic to black women. He didn't say anything about the black man looking at the black women that were at the event in disgust. He didn't say anything like that. He didn't imply it. He didn't suggest it. He said it was the black women that were essentially cock blocking, right? Thank you. A split tip says, I ain't got no ninja and no ninja ain't got me. These broads say that part out loud in the club. Yep, they could say whatever they want. Watch her settle down eventually, sooner rather than later, right? Watch them, and you know what? Black women won't be dumbfounded, but yeah, she gonna settle down eventually. And those same women around her age, mid and late 20s, who are saying that, they will be out here in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s. Huh? We already know, so it's projected that a third of Americans will not be getting married in the next few decades. If it's a third of Americans in general, what does that mean for black people, in specific black women, even more specifically? I want black women to understand why we keep on bringing up marriage, 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 marriage. It is a sign of stability. The white capitalists have moved marriage into not just something you do as a sign of being an adult. It is at the capstone of adulting. It is a sign of stability. So when you see us judging men and women, to be frank with you, in whether they are married or not, and how long they've been married, it is a sign of stability. Dear black women, those of you that are single as hell, you have been in and out of situations with black men, with white men, with Latino men. You are in your 40s and never been married. Late 40s, mid 40s, early 50s, never been married. What you are saying to non black people is that no man invested in you. Miss us with the, well, I've been proposed to twice. I was engaged 3 times. I turned them down. Whatever you got to tell yourself, whatever coping. When non-black people hear that, they hear a lack of stability. They hear a lack of investment. What they hear is that no man said, yes, I do, and I will go with her through the long haul. You could try to excuse it and make yourself feel better with the, oh, I was engaged twice. I've been proposed to 3 times, Kevin. What non-black people here, quite frankly, what black people with any modicum of family values here, is a woman that a man or men decided was not worth the heavy lifting, even if she's literally heavy or not, or as Vince likes to say, hefty or not. No, huh? Oh, let me read this one now. This is funny. And Cyrus Burke says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Cyrus Burke says, plot twist. Glorilla marries a square mogul with a PhD in intersectionality, thus kicking off the gynocracy's last Hail Mary to make Jermaine kneel. You think that's not possible? I think you have to. I think you have to have a look though. I will say that when I see Glorilla, you have to still have the look though. So shout out to all you Dread brothers, right? I think you have to have the look though. But I think if you pass the look requirement, somebody is somewhere saying thug maxing Z. Thug maxing was what you're saying. I think if you pass the looks requirement, yeah, I think so. I could definitely see her with a square ass dude, a hood ass dude too, but like the hood scholar hood dude. Huh? Oh boy. Huh? From Africa I came says Mandingo maxing hysterical, right? And no, I didn't forget about you, Red Falls Black. I did not forget about you. I could definitely see that. These women are using these songs as anthems to their life, and there's a cost. Shout out to Buckeye Fan. I did not forget about you. For all of us that were of age or coming of age when No Scrubs was all over the airwaves, was all over the radio. That was Xer's theme song. That was a lot of millennials' theme song. Those Xers are now in their goddamn 40s and 50s. And they still ain't been married yet. Goddamn, Z. Some of those Xers never had children. Some of them had children out of wedlock, never been married. They're calling into Kendra G's show at 48 and 52 years old. One or two, three kids under their belt, four kids under their belt, never been married. And those women used to walk around here singing No Scrubs on a goddamn blowhorn as a way to antagonize black men. Let's be very clear what Z is saying. Huh? They used to love the Can You Pay My Bills, Destiny's Child, the No Scrubs, the He Wasn't Man Enough for Me, Tony Braxton. Just Be a Man About It, Tony Braxton. They used to love these type of songs, right? And here we are now. And the split Jim says, "Did you cover the Eve's photo Z?" No, we spoke about it a little bit last weekend or the weekend before last weekend on my channel. But I didn't cover it all the way. But we did speak about it. As a matter of fact, Compassionate posted it, and we spoke about it a little bit for what maybe an hour or so. But did I do a whole dedicated stream? No, right? And Saint Cyr says, "No Scrubs came out. No Scrubs came out in '99. I was 435, and it has haunted even me. They played that song for years. It's it's their mantra. So young millennials got stepped into it also, or whatever, steeped into it also. Yeah, yeah. Right. Oh man. And Indigo says, funny thing about Eve photo is how defensive a lot of black women are about it. Yeah, because they'll sign up for that every day, all day to be with that type of man with that type of money. That type of white man with that look, they said there's no such thing as an ugly billionaire, which is a bunch of crap, but fine. All that mean is the women are willing to overlook the looks for the lifestyle. Cool, but those women to sign up for that. What black women are really saying, and quite frankly, any woman is really saying, when they see photos like that, where Eve looks like she's a extra, right? And Eve is a light skinned black woman. She's the like she looks like out of place, and I think her and Buddy Rowe probably have a air quotes healthy relationship for whatever that means. But let's be very clear: black women will sign up for that. Most women will sign up. As much as they pop in that crap, they don't mean it. If the man with all the money and resources step in the room, that's how you know feminism is a bunch of crap. If you earn enough, if you're a high enough status, women will go, not all of them, but about 80, 85% of them that will pop in that crap, they'll go. They will go. Right? See what Indigo says? Leave Eve alone. Y'all hate when a black woman is being loved correctly. Destro responds, worshipped correctly. And he's not even doing that. And that goes back to what we already know that women mean by love. Shower them with the lifestyle and the gifts. You show them love by financially putting them in the position where they want for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Huh? That's what loved correctly looks like to them. Huh? Both. And a split Jim says photos like that is what gives them hope or copium. Both hopium and copium. Huh? And Dylan says, but they want everything exactly. And once again, Cyrus Burke, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And once again, Inspired Truth, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? Oh boy. They'll sign up for it all day, every day. And Inspired Truth says, and intersectionality is yeah, I get it, I get it. Want to call Eve's pick empowerment. Yeah, because a rich white man wifed up a black woman from the hood and put her in the most opulent position and has her around white folks. He married her. He don't got her as a side chick. He don't have her as a sneaky link. He's married her and he's made her public, and their marriage is public. So in their minds, that's empowerment. Empowering. So we already know, and Bell Hooks already told you, women take on the status of their men. And for women of color, namely black women in the Western context who experienced slavery at the hands of white folks, the hand of white men, the descendant of those black women, what is empowering to them is for the same white men, the children of those same white men. And Maximilian is British, so if you shake his family tree, somebody owns some type of plantation in the West, probably, right? You shake his family tree, somebody's money is tied in somewhere with some type of oppression of black people, whether it's on the continent of Africa or somewhere in the Americas, right? So in these women's minds, it is empowering for the son of the slave owner to marry the daughter of the enslaved, especially if the son of the slave owner is rich and wealthy and powerful and influential. It is empowering for that son, that descendant, to marry the daughter and the descendant of the enslaved, and to make her an honest woman, and to make her and to bring up her status in this society by marrying her and having children with her. Huh? It really is that. And we've seen it before. And St. Cyr says, one of the most famous pictures in Brazil, Ham's redemption. We've seen it, right? Huh. So, yeah, just saying. Somebody tells E he's wrong. For these women, it's winning. Eve is winning. Eve is winning. And black women, through Eve, are winning to a certain extent too. That is the goal. Eve is the goal. Yes, there's Russell Wilson Sierra, but Eve is the actual, she's the real goal, right? Eve is the real goal. You got to do your hood thing. You got to hang around the Negroes, right? You and Stevie J got a whole Segs tape. Shout out to Dr. Thunder for that. Huh? Apparently she was with Birdman at one point, and now you've been married to Maximilian for how long? Y'all have what, 2 kids together or something like that? Hey, Eve is winning. And for many black women, especially black women from around the way, black women from the hood, this is couples goals. This is goals. And you're right. And Mr. Strict to you says Eve ain't have no kids though. True, right? Oh man, yeah, man. So that is what winning is. The son of the slaver marrying the daughter of the enslaved, and that raises black women's stock. And Red Falls Black says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Red Falls Black says, Gen X here. I am appalled that young men do this when you don't have the expectation of a contract. The only woman I ever did this for outside of marriage was my ex fiance, other than it was 50-50. Yeah. Yep. Right. Huh. Yeah. No. So women have, or at least they're trying, and they've been somewhat kind of sort of successful while also not so successful. Women aren't getting married as much. Clearly, we already know the marriage rate is going to the dumps, particularly for the lower classes, lower middle class, working poor, and poor. And so they're attempting to get marriage benefits without the marriage. It is fascinating listening to these women say, "Stop giving men marriage benefits while you're a girlfriend," right? But they really are trying to get husband benefits from boyfriends and situationships, right? That's where Sherry Shepherd comes in with the essentially Ren husband from her friends' husbands. Once again, for those of you that never heard, Sherry Shepherd, what a couple years ago, or a couple years ago, was actually speaking about, essentially renting her friends' husbands. Like she's not gonna do anything sexual with them, but she may need a shelf put up. She may need help around the house. And it would be cool if her friends would let her borrow their husbands? How insufferable are you where you don't even have a handyman who you throw some vagina at and he helps you around the house? Whether that's a young man, a man your same age, or an older gentleman. He'll come in, screw the shelves in after he's done screwing you. Goddamn, Z. How insufferable are you if you don't? I mean, like, this is like basic post marriage dating dynamics or quote unquote situation dynamics. You have a dude who's good with his hands, giggity, that helps you around your house while helping you around your house. Goddamn, Z. Huh? Exactly, Trell. Old pipe layer, right? Good old pipe layer. This is what all them goddamn the intro for all of those 80s and early 90s and 70s flicks are. He knock in the house. Hey, he was saying he knock in the house. Oof, there's a pun there. He knocks on the door. Hey, I got pipe to lay. I heard you needed help with da da da. Right? Fake ass deep Barry White voice. Right? Oh boy. Exactly. Cable man. Slipknot says it's polygamy. Z. Muffle says talk about being objectified. Yeah, it is objectifying men, and no one in this society cares, and they refuse to see it for what it is. And you're 100% right. It is objectifying men. But fine, we'll go with it. How insufferable are you where you don't even have this dynamic playing out in your life as a single woman who needs help around your home? So you don't have any handyman that knocks the cobwebs out for you and then help you move a refrigerator or help you move your couch, or him and his buddy move the couch for you and then his buddy leaves and he stays, hopefully. I don't know what dynamic you got going on. Anyway, and you know, he handles some business and then he leaves. Huh? Wow. That's frightening. But yeah, red falls black. A number of young men, I mean, it's the way they were raised, right? They're raised in these gynocratic families by mom and aunt and grandma, sisters and girl cousins. They don't have much of a relationship with their fathers. They're inundated and indoctrinated with misandrous talk, and they come out here in the dating world in their teens and their 20s, and they try to make up for what their mother told them their father was lacking, and they become little paymaster, um, antagonistic to black men, super simps, right? And they are the guys that are paying that young lady who says, if you want my number, hit me in the Cash App. They'll pay. They are the ones who break their little wallets to pay for her and her homegirl and her other homegirl when they go out. Those young men are the ones who are on paternity court finding out the kid isn't theirs and say, well, he gonna need a daddy anyway. I don't care what the test say. I'm gonna take care of him anyway. He's mine. Huh? Black women love. Well, that's a black woman thing. Women love to hear that. Oh, they love to hear that. Slipknot said labor eunuchs say that. Exactly, Saint Cyr. And Saint Cyr says, "What did Indigo say last night, Z? But she a female, right?" Shout out to Ice Cube. Huh? Yeah, Red Falls Black. These a lot of these Red Falls Black. You know, you said you're extra. These are your sons. I'm not saying your literal sons, but these are the brothers that are your son's age who your ex-wife divorced you, or you and your baby mama didn't work, and you barely saw your son, and she indoctrinated your son with all of this weirdo misandrist crap, and now he is paymaster extraordinaire for wayward women, right? He is the emotional tampon and emotional punching bag for wayward black women. Huh? That's if she didn't break him so thoroughly that he's out here with men. Uh-oh, Z, don't say it. Don't say it. Namely white men. Ooh, goddamn, Z. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You wasn't supposed to say that. Huh? Somebody tells Z he's lying. Huh? Huh? Just saying. So black men are the insufferable ones and the detestable ones. Black men are the detestable ones and the insufferable ones. Meanwhile, black men have a higher marriage rate than black women. Huh? Meanwhile, you are far more likely to see non-black men kind of smile off or play off black women attempting to flirt with them compared to non-black women sidestepping and playing off and minimizing black men trying to flirt with them and talk to them. Huh? Huh? These women spoke to their own relative or family member. I said spoke, they barked at him. You have a Latino who's just flabbergasted at black women not catering to black men to the point where he feels compelled to record himself talking about it. Yeah. Huh. So, man. So, you know, I covered this because number one, I think the sister her framing was a little off. Um, just a girl's talk. As I said, and I think yeah, that I'm gonna emphasize that a little bit more. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. As I said before, I would say these women, it's not that they got their heart broken per se by black men. They are being raised to be little anti-black misandrists from their mothers and aunts and grandmothers and older female siblings and older female relatives, their teachers, their entire environment, then God forbid she does get her little heart broken, youthful rejection when she's in middle school or high school. Yes, these women began a little underage heartbroken at 14 and 15 and hold on to it when they're 40 and 50 and 60. But it's not really hate. It really is about position. It really is, I own you, Negro. It really is bow down. It really is that. Right? We got to emphasize that. It really is that. It's not about these women necessarily choosing wrong. They're choosing what they want and they're angry it doesn't work. It's not about quote unquote choosing wrong. This is just shout out to just a girl talk. I appreciate her and her work. The framing is a little off. Once again, these women are choosing what they want. They're just angry if it doesn't work out. And in their minds, it's never their fault. So it got to be the black man's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault, right? It's always Jermaine's fault. So these women are moving around the world, doing whatever they want to do, however they want to do it. And if and when it doesn't work out, blame the nearest black man. In case of emergency, blame the nearest black man. Huh? So, I understood her framing. I didn't, but once again, I think that's the issue here. We're not framing this correctly. Black women want to freestyle and do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it. They're just angry if and when it doesn't work out, and it's the black man's fault, and it's always the black man's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. That's why we have that clip. It's always Jermaine's fault. That's why that clip is very known and famous in these spaces. It's always Jermaine's fault. Mr. Z covers these things because for the longest in the black community and outside the black community, we were speaking like the dynamics between black men and black women is not much of the reason why they don't have any money, namely black women. We were speaking about it like that's not the reason why the dynamics are all type of shot in the black community. No? Now we're having a more honest conversation, at least amongst the black men, about class and income and education, status, and the women who are going to get down on and get on black men's program. And if a number of black women said they're not going to get on black women's program, black men said we will find the women that will. And you could do whatever you want to do over there in single baby mamaville, even if you're not a single baby mother. If you could make it work with a white man, good for you. Good on you. If not, oh well, so be it. Huh? Oh boy. And KMS says this and KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. KMS says the slap happy simp Sambos have got to go. But she got ass though. Hee hee. Right. But that ass though. So the slap happy simp. Oh man. Now I see why Slipknot said it. Hashtag slap happy simp. Right? And yeah, no, the slap happy simp is a very and I see the image, the 19 teens, the 1920s, the 1890s, maybe. No, more like maybe 19 teens. Um, no, that maybe actually 1890s. Yeah, maybe. I see the image. I could see it right now, right? I could see the image in my mind of the slap happy simp Um, yeah, and these brothers that make excuses, and I get it. You're gonna still have to be regulated, but I get it. I can understand and appreciate growing up in these gynocratic environments and how much as a young child and as a young adult you were inundated with all type of imagery of ish black men and how your dad not coming to pick you up, right? Or he didn't pop up at the house when he said he would. Your mom capitalized and took advantage of that and said, "You see, I told you he ain't ish. I told you these black men ain't ish." And she never told you that she argued with him an hour before he was supposed to pick you up on the phone. She never told you that. Well, especially for those of us, um, millennials and Gen X. How many of you had to find out that your granddad isn't your biological granddad when you were in your teens, in your 20s, and maybe even your 30s? For those millennials and Gen X, how many of you had to find out that your dad was trying to communicate with you and your mom just didn't tell you, never gave you the letters, never told you your dad was on the phone? Huh? Oh boy. Someone tells you he's lying. Huh? Red Falls Black says Daffy dancing, right? Shout out to Green Gorilla. Daffy Duck dancing, that tap dancing. Say that. Everyone talks about granddad going out to get some milk and never coming back. Everyone speaks about granddad with the family across town. No one speaks about the fact that granddad was grandma's third marriage, and granddad had two kids from grandma, but grandma came in with five kids from three different men. Huh? And so who everyone was calling granddad is actually three of you's granddad. All the other seven or eight or nine grandkids, that's not your actual biological granddad. Someone tells Z he's lying because we have it in the Caribbean too, by the way. Let me give y'all an open secret. It's a big thing in the Caribbean also. It ain't just happening in America. It's not just an ADOS FBA thing. My Jamaicans, my Haitians, my Guyanese, my Trinis, my USVI tell me I'm lying. My Bahamians tell me I'm lying. Uh-oh. That is not just the ADOS FBA thing, right? You thinking this is your biological grandfather, and yet he may or may not be. He's really only the biological grandfather for three or four out of the grandkids of 10 and 12 and 15. Huh? Oh man. Because you wonder why grandma's kids look so different. Why uncle such and such looks so different than auntie such and such? Yeah, because they have different dads. You just ain't register it when you were 7 and 8 and 11 years old. Huh? And KMS says, or you find out Big Mama's house was actually built by her husband she was married to. She was married. And there's a picture of him in the chest in the attic. Oh man. Huh? Say that. That's the truth, everyone. That is the uncomfortable truth that no one wants to speak about. The uncomfortable truth. Oh man. Black women been freestyling. Black women been doing whatever the hell they want to do. Huh? Black women been doing whatever the hell they want to do. They just hate the cost of it. Because why do white women get to do it and we don't get to do it? White women aren't told to settle. Oh boy. Afro National says freestyle champs, and that is black women are definitely the freestyle champs. Black women are doing whatever they want to do. If they want to take school seriously, they do that. If they want to take marriage seriously, they do that. If they don't, they don't. They're just angry at the outcome. No pun. If they want to take relationships seriously, intimate relationships with black men specifically, they take it seriously. If they don't, they don't. If they don't want to take it seriously, they don't take it seriously. There's a cost to that. You know? Huh. So that's what it is. Hey, say that. A split gym says, my father took my mother in with two kids. He didn't know about the second one. Sounds dumb, but Jamaica. Hey, I grew up with Jamaicans, bro. I grew up with Jamaicans and Bahamians and different black folks from the Caribbean, obviously ADUS FBA. Man, stories sound real similar to Z. Kids not finding out that that this guy's not their biological dad, that guy is at 16 and 17. Somebody tells Z he's lying. Huh? Someone tells Z he's lying. Black women want to freestyle and do their own thing, they can do that. But there's a consequence to that. That's when black women get mad. That's when black women get mad. The consequence. It's not fair because they shouldn't have to eat the consequence. You could freestyle, you could do what you want with whoever you want. You could act however you want. The Latino man already told you. He was at the get together. Black man was with a Latina. So the black man is already gone. You lost him. That's it. He gone. He ain't coming back more than likely. And you turned off the Latino man either. So he ain't put in a good word with you with other Latino men. Because you were out here caught blocking and hating on the brother. And how many of you sisters were paying attention? You didn't even realize you were being peeped. This is why you got to be careful how you move in public, especially in public. He said it was full of Latinas, it was a handful of black women. And he observed that the black women were hating on the black man, and they told the Latina, why are you preparing a plate for the black man, for that man? Huh? Y'all don't even appreciate how y'all be destroying your own image from a million miles away. Wow. In usual business, excuse me, yeah, usual business is Z. I got a cuz found out his dad was not his dad at 38 years old. Jesus Christ. At 38 years old. What are you supposed to do with that? So the women who keep on playing this game, how is your kid supposed to look at you now? You still mama, huh? You still, I'm your mom. Yeah. Huh. Your child is damn near 40 years old. Your adult child is 40, and they're just now finding out that they're who they thought was their biological father, who they thought in case of emergency I could get a kidney from my dad, I could get this or whatever. Easy transition. He'll do it for me. And not saying the guy that might have thought he was your cousin's dad wouldn't still do it if the blood matches and whatever, but it probably doesn't. It doesn't because he's not biological dad. But still, your child is finding out at 40 because understand what you're telling your kid when your kid finds this out at 40. Everything he ever thought was a lie. When your kid finds out that the foundation he thought existed didn't exist, you just told him everything he thought was a lie. You just told her everything she ever thought was a lie. You just told her you were running, you just told him you were running a lie on them for three, damn near 4 decades, nearly 4 decades. You were lying to them to their face every single day of their life for almost 4 decades. What do you expect your grown ass kid to do with that? Huh? Huh? To all of those women, what like do you not see yourself as a monster? It's one thing stepping out on your family. It's the other thing having a whole side family, right? You're looking your kid in the face every single day, from the day they come out the womb to when they find out that their father isn't their biological father, whether that's in their teens, in their 20s, in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, when you pass away. You looked your kid in the face every single day and lied to them every single day for 14 years and 15 years and 23 years and 30 years and 38 years and 42 years and 48 years. You looked your kid in the face every day and lied to them. Huh? Wow. Only Logical says Ebony K. Williams had to excuse me. Only Logical says Ebony K. Williams had to look up her father on her own. Kirk Franklin's mom blatantly lied to him about who his father was and still refused to take accountability. I remember that. And was it T.O., right? Was it Terrell Owens? Was it T.O. who dad grew up who he grew up across the street from his dad and his mom and nobody ever told him? That was an Ocho Cinco, right? That was T.O., right? Huh? How is your son or your daughter supposed to look at you? You still mama dearest, huh? To all those women, you're still mama dearest, huh? You're still, I did the best I could do. I did right by you. You're still that, huh? Your child is supposed to look at you no different. Because I still had you. I still raised you. I did the best I could. Ain't that right? And Dylan says, yeah, it was Tio. Yeah, we mentioned Kirk Franklin. We mentioned Kirk Franklin. Nerdtron, yeah. Huh? And once again, KMS, thank you for that super chat. And KMS says, and thank you for this super chat. If this is how she treats her brothers, how is she going to eventually treat me? How men see black women. Black women, everybody sees you. Yep. Yep. That's a, that's essentially what the Latino was saying, which is true and not true. Eventually, Keisha's going to Keisha on Brad or on Jose. This is true. With that, we already know that black women are gonna talk to the Latino man and treat him a bit different, a bit better, at least for a little while. She's gonna treat the white man a bit different, a bit better. at least for a little while, right? This is true. But let's be very clear. The Latinos, the white guys, the Asian guys, they see y'all. It's crazy watching the old Funk Brothers stuff, and they would talk about dating, and in the comments are these desperate ass black girls and women begging, what do I have to do to get an Asian man? Why don't Asian men approach us? Why don't Asian men talk to us? The Funk Brothers had to turn around and do a whole segment about, the Asian men that have their hair cut like this, or they listen to hip hop, or they wear Jordans. Those are the Asian men that are more likely to be with a black woman. Now, them urbanized Asian dudes still don't be rocking with black women like that. A couple of them pipe black women, but they still don't marry black women. They don't got no mixed black kids like that either. Right? Oh boy. So yes, the world sees black women. You know? Yes, the world sees you, black women. Yes, it does. And Afro National says, if you want a Latina as a black man, they're out here and on the hunt. They really are. I want to stress this. I say this often. I think black women think they think we're them. They think we're trying to call their bluff. Huh? Black women think we are them. They think we are lying to them. They think we're gaslighting them. They think we're calling their bluff. They think we're trying to like scare them, right? Black women, you can't make up for the black men that leave the black community. There's not enough Latino and white men and other women that look at you in any way that can make up for that. Black women with a right mind should be holding on to black men for dear life. A black woman with her head on her shoulders should be holding on to the nearest black man worth a damn for dear life. You can't make up for you can't make up for the black men that marry out and that date out, that has mixed children outside of, you can't make up for it. The non-black men just don't see you the same way. It don't matter how much you impose yourself in their spaces. It doesn't matter how much. Understand, you have the heavy set black woman in South Korea who's telling you the Korean men in South Korea. That means she is one of the few black people in South Korea. And she's telling you that the Korean men, it don't even matter about her shape. They just want to pipe. They just see her as an experiment, something cool to do and knock off a bucket list. In South Korea. So what do you think the Asian guys in America are on? Huh? I'm just saying. Huh? Yeah. And St. Cyr says, my boy Vic, Filipino B-boy, D-boy, B-boy, yeah, had all the real swaggy fly car and all you know he's with nothing but Filipinas. Bro ain't never stepped outside of that. Hey, Indigo said Jin. Did we ever see Jin with a black woman? You talking about the rapper, right? Did we ever see him with a black woman? Huh? Did we ever see Jin with a black woman? Huh? I'm just saying, black women. I'm just saying. So on that note, everyone, I'm gonna keep y'all too much longer. I wasn't supposed to stream this long in the first place. So, shout out to Just a Girl Talk. Shout out to her. I think her framing is a little off. I don't think that these women hate black men because of heartbreak. They hate black men because black men didn't make them rich white women. They hate black men because they're racist towards black men. If we all grew up in this anti-black society and we speak about decolonizing your mind, right? And we speak about the messages that are thrusted on us in this society, then you have to appreciate that black women are American too. Black women that are born and raised in the West or that moved to the West have been propagandized also, and they're anti-black. They are anti-black. They have much of the same understanding of black men that white women do. The only thing is that the world won't allow for them to move like black. I'm assuming the world won't allow for them to move like white men and white women and non-black folks. Oh, I know what b-boy is. I know what b-boy is. I didn't know if it was a typo when you were trying to say d-boy. But yeah, I know what you. Well, after I read it, I got what you were saying. And Saint Cyr says, "B-boy as a breakdancer. LOL. His mom and dad would kill him if he was a D-boy, right? Yeah. Thank you." And Trell says, "American black women are raised white supremacists. That's all it is." And they're running into the wall that they are black women who are anti-black misandrists. And for many of them, they are either going to end up with a black man or end up with a black woman. But all of their ideas of being married to or being in serious long-term relationship with a non-black man is just not going to happen, right? So either they're going to be single out here with their rose toys. Shout out to Real Talk with Yanni. Be a little hornball, flirting with your homeboy, and he ain't biting. Goddamn. And Yanni is a fairly attractive woman. And so for your homeboy not to bite, goddamn, Yanni. God, that's bad. But okay. Huh? I see Better You and Trell telling me out in the comments. I see y'all. Right? Better You says he got two more closings in him. Better You, I mean, Trell says, I know, right? Right? So that's what I'll say with that. The next one, the next clip from Dating Right, the sister that was on news with the news anchor dude, and they were flirting back and forth. I hope you end up with that guy because the black guy, ma'am, you are lucky. Mr. Z isn't that brother. I would have called your bluff. You know what? We ain't gonna work. I hope you end up with the white dude that you were working with. I hope y'all get married eventually and have your mixed kid. Calling my bluff all news. Watch this. That is what I'm saying, Telescope. And Telescope says, so what you're saying, these black women are Uncle Ruckus with boobsy? Yes. Huh? The clip with the sisters barking on the brother in the UK, only proving his point on why he don't date black women. Right? Exactly. And Saint Cyr says, the white girl in France having to go half with the French guy. Black women say they will go to Europe for but gonna do 50-50 there too. Bro, it women wanted equality, they got it. Now what? You ain't read the fine print. That's your bad. Dear modern women, you wanted equality. Your foremothers fought for this. This is what you got. Now what? Uh oh. And to be frank with you, most men don't got it to be going 80-20 with you at the least. Most men don't got it, including the white men. That's why y'all are all chasing after about the top 15, maybe 20, but really 15 and 10% of men. That's why all of you are chasing after those guys. Because they're the guys that your average woman, he makes so much more than her. If your average woman is making 48 and 50, we know it's a little bit less. But if she's a 40-hour work week woman and she's earning 40 and 50 and 52 and 55, that's why they're chasing after the top 10% because that guy is the guy that's making 100 and 110 and 140 and 150. Huh? This is the price. I see what y'all trying to do. I see what y'all trying to do. Trying to keep Z here forever. And Red Falls Black says Auntie Ruckus, aka Bunny Ruckus. Exactly. No, I can't do no panel. And Mr. Shook to you says, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. 3 hours in a panel later. Right? 3 hours in a panel later. Right? Oh man. When Global Free Agent says, save your voice. Great stream, Z. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You are a scholar and a gentleman. And for real though. So on that note, everyone, we will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, right? Um, I'm not sure if Dr. Thunder is still streaming. I doubt it, but y'all could check him out. The Roger Report should be pretty much just starting his stream. He shouldn't be too far in. So y'all check him out. And on that note, everyone, we'll pause right here. Y'all go check out once again the Roger Report or Dr. Thunder or whoever is streaming. And Mr. Z out. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great, great rest of y'all day.